sitting here and I had dinner with Jesus tonight, and I was thinking about betrayal and the Last Supper. You know, betrayal for us, we take it to heart, and we take it to heart to the point where we sometimes cut people off. We've learned to cut them off immediately when we see their true intentions for us. Sometimes God's his nose for us is to reveal people's true intentions for us. There's a purpose in the no, and it's not always what you're thinking. During the Last Supper, Jesus knew Judas was going to betray him. He also knew Peter was going to betray him. And he still extended grace. He still had them for dinner. Didn't he wash their feet? He washed, the disciples' feet at the Last Supper, if I'm not mistaken. He still offered love and kindness. And what do? We get our feelings hurt and we cut people off and we block them, or we just unfriend them, or we just don't talk to them anymore to protect ourselves, especially when we have been through that so many times. We've learned to put up protective barriers. But I would love to get to a point where I can offer the same grace to others, to those who do that to me, as Jesus did to those who did that to him. But it hurts, man. It hurts when you see people who say they love you and they care about you and all this other stuff. You see their true intentions for you when they don't always offer you the same grace that they do others, or when they say or do things that hurt your heart. Jesus says that if for those who don't receive your words, to dust off your feet and walk on. Well, I feel like I've mastered that pretty well. And so now it's hard for me to be on the other side and to not leave or not cut them out of my life when something hurtful or was said or done. It's hard for me to not cut them out. And Jesus doesn't always want us to cut people out. He wants us to extend grace and forgiveness. And I have no animosity towards anybody in my heart who I have cut out of my life. But when I see their true intentions for me, my circle gets smaller. I feel like his message is also that we can still be loving and gracious and kind no matter what's been done. We need to strive to be more like him. Look how he was on the day of his crucifixion. People were slandering him. He didn't stand up for himself. They were accusing him of things he had not done, and he didn't try to reason with them to get them to see those were lies, not true. People are who they are. I feel like if we cut everybody out, how are they going to see Jesus in those places? I would love to get to a point where I am not so quick to run away from those who have caused an injury in my heart, where my heart hurts. You don't have to keep people around who you don't trust. But if you completely close that door on them, how are they going to see Jesus? You have to let people be who they are, pray for them, still love them. You don't have to let everybody in your circle. But we all need to learn to give grace where we want grace. I've had horrible things, false accusations said about me, and horrible things done. And that's hard to come back from. From that point on, it gets easier to close doors, to say, no, this isn't going to happen. I'm not going to be treated like this, and cut people out. 70 times 7, Jesus says to forgive 70 times 7. And I feel like, 7 of it, I feel like is for us, because it takes 7 times, up to 7 times, to try to really forgive someone, to where we don't feel any animosity towards them in our hearts. It's the practicing of forgiving, and then, you know, we take it back and we think about it and we feel that anger and that hurt and that resentment again. So then we get angry at them all over again, and then we have to try to forgive again. And then the other 70 times 7 is for them, for the ones who did us badly. And I don't have any animosity towards anybody who's even done me wrong. I feel for them. I feel bad for them because they don't know that the devil is using them to attack me. They don't understand. They are not seeing that. But I still love them. There's no animosity there. Even the ones I've cut out, I still love and care about and pray for. But sometimes it feels like when you're nice to people, they take advantage of it and they totally just dismiss you altogether while they don't dismiss others. And it just feels like a slap in the face because you've been there for them and you've tried and you've stepped up for them, but yet they don't have your back. That's what hurts. But I'll just keep trying. I mean, that's all we can do. Just give the grace where you need grace. Give peace where you want peace. And trust God to fix everything and to do what we can. That's all we can do. I love you. And remember, God loves you more. And thanks for being here. If you